put in this computer. All right, so we looked at the learning intention. We're focusing on 8EE7. So we're learning how to solve linear equations, but we're really focusing on today how to solve two-step equations. And in order to be successful, we need to understand what an equation is. We need to know how to do the arithmetic operations. We need to understand what the additive and the multiplicative inverses are. So to get started, get a piece of paper and a pen. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with introducing what two-step equations are. So I'm going to use the example of 2x plus 3 equals 5. All right, and remember, the goal in all of this is to get x by itself. We need x isolated. We don't need 2 there. We don't need the plus 3 there. We need it gone. All right, so in order to do that, I'm going to perform what we call the additive inverse first. So I'm going to get rid of this 3. All right, the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of this 3. And how do I do that? I got to subtract 3. And whatever I do on one side, I have to do it on the other side. Keep in mind I didn't put minus 3 under here because that's not what I'm trying to get rid of. I'm trying to get rid of the 3, so I didn't put the minus 3 over here. So then now I'm left with 2x, this is 0 right here, so I don't have to put that in, all right, is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2. Now my next step, I still need to do more. My next step is getting rid of this 2. So let me get another color. Since this is 2 times x, I have to do the multiplicative inverse. I have to do the opposite of what multiply is, which is divide. So this says 2 times x, so now I have to divide by 2. And then whatever I do on one side, best believe it, got to do it on the other side. Bam. So then we have x is equal to 1 because 2 divided by 2 is 1. I'm going to leave this up for a second so you could go ahead and write it down, and we will come back to it later on. All right, let me give us about 30 seconds to write this down. All right, we're going to do another example. And keep in mind that this is being recorded, so you'll be able to go back and look at it. And we'll work some more problems in class as well. So if I had negative 3y minus 2 is equal to 14. Let's do, where's the eraser? Let's do 15. That works. All right, so just like the other one, I need to get rid of that negative 3 and I need to get rid of that negative 2. All right, because they're blocking me from getting y. Remember, I want y by itself. I needed to say y equals something. I don't want it to say negative 3y equals something. I don't want to say 3y equals something. I needed to just say y equals something. So I need to get rid of the 2 and I need to get rid of the negative 3. So first, I'm going to go ahead and put a plus 2 right here, because I know I have to do the opposite. Negative 2 is way different from plus 2, so I have to do negative 2 plus 2, which is the additive inverse. And then on this side, I got to do the same. Whatever you do on one side, best believe it, you got to do it on the other side. So I have negative 3y is equal to, this is 0, right? So I don't need to put this back. This is 0. If it's 0, just let it go. And then I have 15 plus 2, 17. All right, so my next step, I need to get rid of that negative 3y, that negative 3 actually, because I want y to be there. So since negative 3 is multiplying y, I have to do the opposite, the multiplicative inverse. So since it's multiplying, I have to divide, and I'm going to divide by negative 3. I can't just divide by 3 because it's going to leave the negative. I have to divide by everything that I'm trying to get rid of. And whatever I do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on the other side. All right, so then it's y equals negative 17 over 3. That's my answer. Give us 5 seconds to write that down, and then we'll come right back to another example. All right, let's look at one more example. Let's do 6 plus 3z is equal to 2. All right, so first of all, I want to get rid of the 6 and I want to get rid of the positive 3 that's right there. It's blocking me from finding what z is. The question is find z. All right, what is z? So in order for me to do that, I need to get rid of this 6. I'm going to minus 6 because this is already a positive 6. So I have to do a minus 6. Then whatever you do on one side, sure enough, we got to do it on the other side. All right. I'm not going to put the minus 6 underneath the 3z because right now we're doing the additive inverse and we're getting rid of the 6. So then this is 0 right here. This is 0, right? So then I'm left with 3z is equal to 2 minus 6 is negative 4. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. So then now I have to get rid of this 3. So I'm going to do divide by 3 because it was multiplying, all right? And whatever I do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on the other side. So z is equal to negative 4 over 3. I have one more example for us, but first we're going to write this down and we do give us a little bit of time and then we'll continue. Keep in mind, we're going to do this again as we go throughout the semester. This is just a video so that you could go back and watch it. All right, let's continue. The next thing I'm going to do is y over 2 minus 8 is equal to 10. Ooh. First step. Can someone put in the chat what to do? Can someone put it in the chat what to do? What's my first step? Because I'm trying to find y. I need y by itself. So what would my first step be? Put it in the chat. Go ahead and put it in the chat so we could see it. Let me put this there. Add 8. That is correct. So I'm going to put plus 8. And whatever I do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on the other side. So y divided by 2 is equal to 10 plus 8 is 18. I didn't do anything here because this right here is 0. So I'm just going to get rid of it. Whenever the additive inverse is always equal to 0. So whenever I do negative 8 plus 8, it is 0. All right. So could someone put in the chat what would be my next step? I have y divided by 2. Y divided by 2, and I need to get y by itself. So I said multiply. What do I multiply by? Yes, it's multiply. Because since this is divide, I got to do the multiplicative inverse, which is going to be multiply. I have to multiply by 2. Yes. I'm going to multiply by 2. And whatever I do on one side, sure enough, got to do it on the other side. So y is equal to 18 times 2, which is 36. Cool. So that was a quick lesson on how to do two-step equations when you're dealing with the additive and the multiplicative inverse when they're both in the same equation and you're trying to find the variable.